Again, you can see what the difference is between a high-class adventurer and a hero. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Sentenced to be a Hero. We come back as we normally do, with notes. Sorry, always throws me off when there's not all the things that we usually do. We don't have any comments for this episode, and technically I do have the board open on my own screen. There are no changes, really, so there's no reason to point it out. The link will be down below as it normally is. On my end, all I've really done was I added a picture for Rhino, since we met Rhino. That's it. So, that said, let's go ahead and hop into the notes. So, in the burnt remains of Aldeo's place are just two giant hunks of wood with letters on them. Writing this before actually rewatching the rest of the episode, but memory serves that there is a library with plaques like these in the church. Maybe signifying some connection there? Additionally, these are the letters R, and I believe that the X is supposed to be an S. I believe because an S would have a bit more of a slant on it, with an extra little thing coming off of the first arm, towards the left. That doesn't appear to be there. Similarly, if this were an I, the X would be divided down the middle vertically. At the same time, maybe it's an X, as in X marks the spot. And the key-looking thing is more than just a treasury note, like I thought it was before. I should also mention that I didn't write this down, but in the capital script of the language being used, there is a more X-looking letter, but I still don't know what this one technically could be. What if there is a secret in that library, in the R section, and what I took as a money transfer is a little bit of National Treasure-style clue-giving towards where the X would be? I don't know. It's a bunch of clues on a table. My mind will wander. Now, I posted this in the Discord as soon as I had figured it out, but hopefully future me will also remember to post it here in the video. The scroll that Venetum passed, transcribed, "Please release from the punishment cell." This document authorizes the release of an inmate held in a punishment cell in the Galatul Barracks building in the port city of Ioff. 1. This permit is a temporary permit issued for the defense of the port city of Ioff. 2. After release from prison, the supervisor will be transferred to the supervisor of the penal hero designated by the Galatul Command. 3. This permit is a temporary measure to defend the port city of Ioff. After this temporary situation is over, any measure to be taken will be in accordance with the instructions of the court and the Galatul Command. The port city of Ioff will not be held responsible for any damage caused by the prisoners released from their cells in this matter. Sorry, I've added in this. It's just released from their cells this matter. All responsibility will be borne by Galatul Command. Based on the above penal hero unit, there was a number there, but again, I don't know numbers as well as I do the letters. Rhino Mulchem is apparently his last name, is allowed to leave the cell. Galatul, the port city of Ioff Defense Command. The seal on the seal text, rather, also just says Galatul, so in case you ever wondered what the stamp says. Xylos. Yeah, I want to call him Xylos. For some reason, I'm pluralizing his name. Xylo has the nickname Thunder Falcon, which is pretty fucking cool. The library wall notice says, "Dear all, be sure to return," and there's one word that's off to the side of the camera that I cannot read. "Materials you read to their original places, management department." Interestingly, the bookshelves are in reverse order than I would have thought. Kivia walks in and sees Venetum on the far wall. As she walks in, the row letters are on her right, and when she confronts him, she's standing in front of the D row, while Venetum is standing in front of E and F, implying that as he was at the shelf against the wall, he was looking at the A books. Though, oddly, when Venetum walks past, she's between the L and M shelves. I'm pretty sure she investigates what book he was looking at, and I had to invert the colors on the screen to be able to read the title, but it says, and I guess also an argument against him being at the A shelf because he's actually at the R shelf. Register of Authorized Personnel of Temple. I said this in the Discord. I think the show really does expect you to learn the language all the time, so they bring up something with text on it in front of the screen for you to read. And certainly this has to be a clue. I mean, granted, the show also gives you a bunch of other clues, not in the context of learning another fantasy language. Because I should point out, at this time, I am, deciphering this language just about every episode. And I'm also starting Witch Hat Atelier, which I've also deciphered that language now, too. That's far easier. That one's a far easier language. But also, they throw out so much more shit with stuff written on it. As I said previously, on this language interweaves capitalized letters that have a different form to their lowercase partners together. A letter will have interwoven, not like you'd expect. Not if you were reading cursive in English, right? Obviously, I can't compare this to, say, Japanese or Chinese or any languages that follow that specific medium. So, I don't know. Maybe if you're good at those languages, this is child's play. Although I should say, even though I noticed that there's, only 12 episodes this season, and we're on, the penultimate, as it turns out, the moment I had gotten done with Venetim's Venetim's little scroll thing, I was just reading this shit left and right. I didn't even need my translator thing. I was just okay, just typing it out. It's always the case, right? I get good at a thing right before it's no longer necessary. Lotiretta seems to have a problem with Rhino. I can't recall her having a problem with anyone else thus far. One of her quirks is not being able to kill humans. This isn't quite that, but could it be a clue? This is the arc where we've introduced a demon in human form. Could Rhino be another demon? If so, why would he have volunteered? He was a member before Tiaretta, so it wouldn't make sense for him to have been targeting her when he joined. But there was Cenevra before. Could he have volunteered to join to get at Cenevra? Maybe that is how Cenevra really got blighted. If the demons are infiltrating the government, then why not the heroes? Could be a long shot, but you know me, throwing shit at the wall is what I do. The orders Kivia got, the typos are in the show, by the way, they aren't on my end. Request for assistance from the fort city of Ioff to headquarters Gatil Amy. Again, the typos aren't on my end, the typos are in the show. There was a top layer just before the cutoff, but it was incredibly hard to read. Like I said, I was getting good at it, but not good enough to guess what the bottom half of a line might be, so... I have to believe that Kivia knows what the link might be between her uncle and the evidence already collected might suggest, and having seen what Venetim was looking up, might suspect that he knows as well, but is doing her damnedest to deny such a thing could be happening with regards to someone she holds in such high esteem. At the same time, she's so on edge about it, thus the raccoon eyes, that Venetim just saying his name sets her on the defensive. Boogies are blight-infested dogs. Just thought I'd take a note of that since I collected so many other notes about the different names of blight-infested creatures. And my final note here. Could it be that the demon blight infiltration's plan is to unite humanity? That the temple and the military together into one force would be easier to control? I mean, it's either that or the blight itself. I keep on just call it the blight. The demon blight itself is not united. Because, I mean, that could be a thing. That the coexisters are one faction of the demon blight itself is the other faction, and maybe there's even a infiltration faction of the demon blight, which is its own thing. It would not surprise me to find out that the show has complicated political elements in as much as everything else that we've seen. You know, first capital, second capital, we're showing that humanity is already divided into so many factions. Why wouldn't the demon blight? But there's also the element that I think the show would do something as complicated because I imagine the manga or the light novel is probably very complicated. That and the element that there's so much fucking world building. There's so much fucking world building going on that I believe that things are way more complicated than they seem to be on first glance. Again, like we first came in contact with the Demon Blight during the fourth, I forgot what they called them again, War of Conquest or something like that. But the goddesses were created in the first War of Conquest, and yet they're like the best weapons against the Demon Blade? That doesn't align. Also, a fucking tank was in the snow. I'm never gonna let that go. Episode 1, there was, or 2, was it episode 2? There was a tank. There was a tank almost 10 episodes ago. I'm still thinking this is not a fantasy world, that this is old Earth or something like that. But, as I said before, I take stuff, I throw shit at the wall. We're gonna find out. Either way, that is it for my notes. No comments. So here we go into the penultimate episode to see what happens.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Right, and then she gets freaked out by the thing that he does. As I just said. I don't know why it shocks her, though. He's literally wearing the symbols all over himself. And it was on the book. Which, again, hopefully future me will remember to put into the image area here. I guess we're talking about the sewer, the waterway. Where, what's his name? Bajoom or whatever killed everyone. Well, this is where I was talking about. I think we knew that about her. I mean, she's the one that we met back in Mareed, and Ioff, or whatever the hell his name is, also was with her. They were about to get into the fight with Zav back then. It's always weird which outfit she decides to wear. Adventurer or priest? I don't sure what to consider that. Because, I mean, that could be her native wear, in which case it's not religious at all. But just have the weird appearance of being religious for some reason. Yeah. See, I thought she was going to inquire about something that would legitimately bring up if he is up to something. But asking about who might have been responsible for first seeing... What would that... So I guess my problem, what would that have gotten us if it was a clue? Also, I'm now just realizing that the end of the credits here, or the end of the opening, is probably them victorious in episode 12. Sorry. What would the answer to that been? Because is she not going to help defend the place and go question somebody? Or would those people actually, I guess the implication is that they're too far gone to answer questions. They're probably not out fighting. So, I don't know. I don't know if the implication is she's gonna go to the. I don't know. Do normal people go to the repair shop or just the heroes? I'm assuming just the heroes. I don't think we're gonna get more information from this guy. It's gonna have to come from the field. That's my buy. My buy. That's my guy. Norgale's electric walls, right? Oh no, that's right. They're going to save the people that made a temporary shelter. Dude's a friggin' berserker.
新手のフェアリー人型だ仲間割れか俺らは人間だ早く開けろ人間
It would still be pretty scary. Someone just leans into your window.
さっさとしろフェアリーどもは増援を呼ぶぞお前ら死にてえのか立てこもってるだけじゃ長くは持たねえぞ
ザイロそれではいけません市民の皆さん市民の皆さん私は女神テオリッタ皆さんを救いに参りました
This is when I heard the word Megami in the original.
そう市民諸氏この倉庫はとても危険な状態にありますですがどうかご安心ください輝ける剣の女神テオリッタ様
Again, the weirdness of how she's put off by him makes me think something's going on with him.
誰が雷鳴の鷹だ懲罰号まで噂は届いていたよ
Also, you were in a place where they were calling you that.
ざけんなこの
ザイロ良いではありませんか輝ける剣の女神に雷鳴の鷹まさに偉大な英雄二人のような
I mean, honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't just take a cool nickname. Especially one you didn't force upon yourself.
こいつらを戦闘配備につけるぞライノお前は雷城の使い方を教え
Typically, that's Norgale's job. I guess we're replacing Norgale for this since he's holding off the defenses.
ただ一つだけ相談に乗ってほしいあ市民の死ぬ順番を決めておきたいお前やはり老人から死んでもらうべきだろうか
I guess I'm more like Rhino than I thought.
彼らから死ぬのが公平だろうとそれを聞いてはいそうですねとでも言うと思ってんのかんもしかして倫理観を問題にしているのかな
I once played a tabletop RPG called All Flesh Must Be Eaten, where I played a geriatric health instructor. And I literally made calls like that about who would die to the zombies in that RPG, so I'm in Rhino's boat. To be fair. Sorry, I was literally just trying to remember their name. Neely is the one who has all the wins.
あ、それなんだけど、ちょっとまずいよ。あの赤いと黒い鎧のやつが。例の砲兵か。
Oh yeah, worse than that, it's homing.
誘導弾だね。あれじゃこちらの援護に入れない。ライロ、俺とテオリッテはトゥイジアを叩く。お前と達也は死んでも倉庫を守る。もちろんだ。共に力を合わせ、この難局を乗り越えよう。
Well, it's a shame Sav's not here.
僕はこの世に居場所がなくなってしまうからね。わけわかんない。気持ち悪いな。
I was meant from the element that Zav could aim his shots. So he could counter artillery sniper that other guy.
さあ、我々の絆と勇気を見せる時が来た。いざ戦おう。人類の勝利と平和のために。
He's also kind of a tell that he's using the word humanity I think we're going to come back to all those civilians and they're all going to be dead.
君が動きを止めてくれ。なら足元に近づいてくる方は何とかしろ。砲兵ってのは近くに寄られると脆いんだ。しかも相手は女神殺しなんだろ。ああ、強敵だ。敬意に値する。どうもあんたは変なやつだな。魔王現象って言ったらもっと凶悪なもんかと思ってたぜ。
I mean, to be fair, I feel like he'll just stab you in the back anyway, with not even feeling about it.
これから滅ぼす相手だからこそ敬意を払う。そういう意味では俺はスプリガンを好きではない。奴には敬意が足りない。
Maybe this is indicating what I thought before was right.
おお、魔王にも王様がいるのか。いや、喋りすぎた。この話はここまでだ。なら聞きたくもねえ。この業界じゃ知りすぎたやつはろくな死に方しねえからな。女神殺しが来る。
What I meant before is the factionalism. The factionalism might exist in a Demon Blight as well, and that's what's being indicated to us.
キビア団長、行政庁舎の周辺は制圧しました。次はどのような対策を？キビア団長？
悪いが、現場はそれぞれの指揮官に任せる。
え？
私にはやらなければならないことがある。すまない。詳しい事情は。
大丈夫ですよ。何があっても団長についていくって、そう決めています。区分時の時もそうでした。
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy from episode 1 that was at the campfire.
キビア団長ですから。持ち場に戻ります。
ラジート。
はい。
やはりお前にだけは話しておこう。
Oh fuck, Rajit's gonna turn out to be evil. This is classic turnaround. She's gonna tell Rajit. Rajit's gonna either betray her or not say some valuable piece of information later. On purpose, I mean.
何の問題もないよ。同志達也もいるしね。まさか来場まで使いこなすなんて。
I would have assumed he wouldn't have the concentration to do so.
思うべきだ。感謝しなければいけないよ。ベネティム、サーブはまだか。
もう少しかかりそうですね。何しろ中央街区にもフェアリーが出たそうなので。
テオリッタ、覚悟はいいの？
行きましょう。人類のために。
二人揃ってくたばるかもしれねえ。俺と違ってお前の命は一つしかねえんだ。
I guess conceivably, goddesses really aren't human.
あなたの記憶は私が守って差し上げます。私の命はあなたが守ればいい。
誰かのために命をかけるなんてアホくせえよ。でもな、やってやる。
Legitimately what you're doing all the time.
行くぞ、テオリッタ。 朝飯にありつつぞ。ゼフバターと焼きたてのパンだ。
玉ねぎのスープもです。よく焼いたベーコン。
Yeah, I hate onion anything.
腹が減ってきた。
What if they're getting an illumination from the blood moon? Because otherwise they're running out of power constantly.
大丈夫。あんな玉よりニーリーの方がずっと早い。当たるはずないよ。
They literally just tapped her.
おっせんじゃねえのか。ザイロ。 マジかよ。
我が騎士、他の道は。ね
え。やるしかねえ。突っ切るぞ。
Oh, I was wondering what the fuck the worry was. Because they're high enough, you just run under them. Didn't realize there were technical attacks associated. It's been a while since we've seen her.
せこい真似しやがって。
そういう仕事だ。今度は本気で行く。鉄毛、攻撃だ。私に当てるなよ。
忙しいこった。
Again, you can see what the difference is between a high-class adventurer and a hero. There's very heroic fucking music in the background. Man, Iron Whale is still up there. I guess there's really no long-term villains in this show, other than the concept of the Demon Blight.
計算は終わったし、相手の注意もそれた。壊すよ。砲撃。冗談だ。
Yeah, I guess he couldn't missile command that one. And the armor was worthless.
どうやって言い訳をすれば。
我が騎士トウが。
ああ、計画のうちだ。飛ぶぞ。
I guess the armor was only for like anti-sniper activity, not other artillery.
来たか。
頼み事は2度目ね。やきの私を諜報員扱い。ただでさえ魔王スプリガンの捜索で忙しいというのに。
もう手段を選んでいる時間はない。頼む。代償は厭わない。事実が明らかになった暁には。
わかりました。明朝までには調査結果を。
オンディキル。
あくまでもザイロのマスティボルト家の婿のためよ。
I don't know if they're presenting us the whole Rajit thing.
聖騎士団に貸しを作っておけば損にはならないでしょうから。
As an alternative to the building Xylo romance, it feels like it's on the table. But again, I am believing that Rajit is gonna... He might die, too. That could be the alternative. Rajit's just gonna fucking die.
次が来てるよ。次はボギーの胸だ。だいぶきついよ。もう逃げた方がいいんじゃない？
ケンズル。そこから一歩でも降りたならば、貴様は処刑だ。少しは目の良さを生かせ。
Or, you know, be sent back to the repair shop, because that's what actually happens to you.
無理だってこんなごついの。
ならばせめて持ち場を指示せよ。間もなくザーブが来る。
いや、本当に来るかな。僕だったら逃げるけど。
来る。奴は確かに悪党だが、ここで逃げる類の悪党ではない。
それ、遠回しに僕がダメな類の悪党だって言ってない。
世もかつてはそう思っていた。だが貴様の愚かな部分が奇跡を
I mean, he kind of is. But at the same time, without him, we wouldn't have Teorita.
今は勝利を待つしかない。進化を信じて待つことこそが国王の果たすべき責務だ。
And he makes some pretty good retainers no matter where the fuck he goes. That's why I like my guys so much.
見事な反応速度。予想以上だ。ザイロフォルバーツ。
It's like that guy from One Punch Man.
チカ君は非常に手強い相手だが
Very much is that guy from One Punch Man. It's also what I did say before about the other Demon Lords, that they seem to be an eyeball and a stalk. Guy only has one eye. Eyeball and stalk. I mean, that's a new one. Is that him or is that just an attack? Okay, it was just an attack. I thought he had melted down like the T-1000, which is attacking from all angles. It's funny because I was literally watching the Armored All Might fight. I never get into a fight planning to lose. Okay. Didn't stick together underwater. I feel like we could have summoned a giant blade by now. Right before Sinerva died. I don't know what we're doing. For a minute there, I thought we were going to go back into flashback mode and see like the last moments of Spirit again, Sinerva. I mean, we saw Norgal cut his own fucking leg off to get to a thing. I have no doubt that Xylo would go further. Do you think the uncle is going to be the king?
せないものは存在しません。
God, the soundtrack to this fucking episode has been fucking amazing. And you know I'm not one to typically comment about the soundtrack. And the sword dissolves away. Yep. Again, I'm just waiting for him to shout Excalibur at some point. I'm not going to leave in there the moment where I just sat completely for 30 seconds not knowing if the episode had ended or not. I legit was thinking to myself, the perfect way to end this episode would have been to a fade to black. You know, just end the episode right there with the victory. But I'm like, God, what are we doing? What's going to come out of the white? And I didn't realize we were at the end. They just did the opposite. Instead of fading to black, they faded to white. Which is, again, the worst call in my mind, because who runs shit in light mode? Insane people. Yeah, I mean, great. It was great, but for me, it weirdly invoked like some of the better stuff from One Punch Man. You know, back when One Punch Man could afford frames, it reminded me of that guy. But when we kept flashing back, I guess we were flashing back to his regret about Cenebra. So I thought we were going to fade into what used to be, and then continue on into the last episode of the season with that, and then come back at the very end to defeat him, and that was going to be everything. Because obviously we still have Spriggan to deal with, because that's the arc. But then again, I guess the element here is that we're dealing with an intelligent human-formed Demon Blight guy, which could last longer than your 1 to 2 episode Inhuman Demon Blight guys. Because, you know, you can do plots with them. You don't have to defeat them immediately, because you can, I don't know, do more. And also given the element that if there is an infiltration going on at the highest levels of government, then any of those guys could be Demon Blight guys, in which case they really has been already an 11-episode plot. So yeah. Don't know what else to make of that, because again, there was just, in this is mostly a battle episode, so I really don't usually have a lot to add to these. Certainly there was next to nothing to translate, unless I want to take another crack at the map. I didn't do it last episode, I don't know why I would do it this episode. I guess it's just going to be the anticipation for payoff of information. Who was your king? Is the book that you're reading that Xylo is also reading? Which I don't know if that's a tie or not. Is that going to be a clue? Obviously, there was nothing there I could translate, because the book is blotted. I think this is the way I've described it before. So blotty that it's hard to make out the letters to then translate. The book cover has the same exact text on it that Xylo's own book has, so there's nothing new there. He only really paid off that the only person I respect is my own king. That doesn't really tell us anything, unless he's a Demon Blight thing that is also a coexister, and the coexisters are actually not bad. We don't know all the factions yet. Which could imply that there are multiple Demon Blight factions that don't all agree. Spriggan could represent the mainline faction that wants to destroy humanity. Bajoum could have, I don't remember his name, I'm assuming it was Bajoum, could represent a coexister faction that exists both in the human side and the Demon Blight side. I mean, who's to say there's not a legitimate demon side coexister faction? In which case they're fools, because the element that there also exists a human side that wants to destroy all demons and a demon side that wants to destroy all humans. Sorry, I got that backwards, sort of, but not really. There's a human side that wants to destroy all humans, and a human side that wants to destroy all demons. There's also a demon side that wants to destroy all humans, and I think that's it. Although, technically, we even saw it this episode, the demons do cannibalize each other, so... I guess I'm imagining at the top level, 1, 2, 3, 6, a 5 to 6 faction system. The humans, that are subset into the military and the temple, the Demon Blight, which is pro-human or pro-coexistence and mainline demon, and then your weird sub-factions, which is the coexisters, which I said maybe 5 to 6, because I think I'm forgetting a faction, or I'm including something that I would consider like sub-factions, which would be my mind is blanking. Yeah, as I said before, there's so much theory about stuff I could throw out because the world building is so good. But at the same time, I have no conceit towards what reality might be. Or not reality. I guess that is actually a question. I have no real conceit of what reality might be because I haven't established anything as hard fact yet. I'm filled with theories like, did Xylo get turned into a hero by a third faction that actually needs him to fight on their side because they do bad things for good reasons, right? The idea that Glass's guy may have assembled a Avengers, if you will, and though he's done a bunch of negative bad shit, he's doing it for the good of everyone? I don't know. Maybe that's just me putting that out there as a theory, but that's what I do. I try to refine my theories, but we're in the realm of, this is why I said what reality really is. I don't have enough information to discount my own theory. I think that's the truest way to test it, is can I consider a way that my theory no longer makes sense? I mean, there's plenty of ways I could just say, make up a new theory to discount that one, but there's nothing with evidence. I think if Kivia's uncle turns out to be a coexister, then that will cement some of these theories in my head, by which a coexister, I think, proving that Bajum is probably, that's the guy Bajum was talking about, that would be a thing. I don't know if it turns out that Ladeo was working for him or taking money from him would prove anything. I've already established that was the thing in my mind, but I don't know that that changes anything. I believe that would be true regardless if he was a coexister or a demon, as it turns out. Yeah, I guess I'm really waiting for that Rajit thing to pan out. They have put the Chekhov's Rajit in play. So he is either, one day from retirement, in which case he's got massive death flags on approach, or he's actually trying to get close to her because he is bad. If her uncle is a demon and then possibly is just switching around bodies, then it could be that he's in Rajit now and he can go back to his own body. I don't know. Again, I think that's the more extreme of the theories at the moment. I don't know. I'm really just trying to spitball here because I know I'm at the penultimate episode and the next episode's going to be it. But I think what's going to have to happen here is I'm going to have time to spend to think about it, specifically from the element that whatever notes I come back with next time are going to be the final notes for a while. So, yeah, I guess that's got to be it. Because, again, I am just rambling, and at worst, I am repeating things I've already said. So, yeah, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you again next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?